Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the very best peachy blushes for the summer. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so peachy toned blushes seem to be having a huge moment right now, and I personally love peachy blushes. I really love a good mauve tone blush, but I also love a good peachy blush. So I am loving this trend. So let's just talk about my all-time favorite peachy toned blushes. The very first is a newer one to my collection. This is actually from Rose Inc, and this is their lip and cheek color in the shade Delphine. So this is one I picked up during the VIB sale, and this was actually in one of the Sephora favorite sets. I love this shade so much. This is the prettiest natural peachy blush tone, and because it is a cream blush, it just really melts into the skin. It looks so pretty. It's got kind of like a dewy finish to it. I just love how this looks on the skin. It's also very long wearing for a cream blush. So I have been absolutely loving this one. It just goes onto the skin so beautifully. It blends out so well. It's not overly pigmented where you have to work like crazy. It's just perfect. I absolutely love this, and I love the finish, and I just love the way it melts into my foundation. And it just gives my skin the prettiest natural peachy flush. Okay, the next blush that I've been wearing an awful lot lately is from Benefit, and this is in the shade Shelly. So on the box this says it's like a warm seashell pink blush, but what that means is it's a shimmery peach. It is so pretty. I've been wearing this one every day too. I love the way the Benefit powder blushes look airbrushed on the skin almost. They just look so pretty, and the way this goes on, these blushes are very pigmented, but there's something about this light peachy shade that is just so flattering. And even though it's got a bit of a shimmer to it, it's not overly sparkling, glittery, and kind of in your face. I'm a little bit picky when it comes to more shimmery blushes. I've long preferred more matte finishes, but this just looks so pretty, and because it is that peachy tone, it just kind of goes with everything, which makes me love it all the more. So I've really been loving this one. The Benefit blush formula, it's a classic. Everybody loves it for a good reason. It is a phenomenal formula, and the shade Shelly is absolutely beautiful. And I do have to briefly mention a peachy pink shade that everybody knows and loves, and that is Orgasm from Nars. I have mine here in a palette. I do have a single somewhere, but this one was much closer, so this is Orgasm. This is just your classic peachy with a gold shimmer. I will say Orgasm is much more pinky when compared to, say, Shelly, and it's definitely a lot more shimmery, a lot more radiant. So if you prefer that really radiant blush, then Nars Orgasm might be the way to go. It's definitely just a very amped up shimmery blush compared to Shelly. Whereas Shelly has a light sheen to it, it's not nearly as much as the Nars Orgasm. So it really just depends on whether you prefer a more matte blush or you prefer more radiance. I think Nars Orgasm is a classic, and it is a little bit more pinky than Shelly, but I had to mention it. It is everybody's favorite peachy blush with a shimmer, so I had to mention it. Next is from MAC, and this is the shade Melba. So this is another one that's kind of like a peachy pink. It's hard to go overboard with the MAC blush. The MAC blushes are a classic for a reason. They just blend out so easily and quickly on the skin. They look so pretty. They never look like too much, and the wear time is phenomenal with the MAC blushes. They're just so good, and Melba is your classic peachy shade for every day. This is a matte shade. There's no shimmer to it at all. It is just a basic matte blush, and it's just so easy to wear. Goes with everything, so fun to reach for. So I absolutely had to mention such a classic blush. The next blush I have to mention is from the Sephora collection, and this is also a matte blush, and this is in the shade So Shy. So this is one of their colorful blushes, and it just looks like this. This is a very light shade. This one is a peachy pink, and this is a very light soft blush shade. I don't know if you can even see that on the back of my hand, but you'll see it in the try on. I love this one. This is one that is going to be so great for those who don't like an overly blushed look, who like to go a little softer with their blushes, who are maybe very fair like I am, and blush can really easily lead to clown cheeks. This will never let that happen. This is such a pretty shade and it really does almost look very natural on the skin. So I really, really like this one. Again, this is more of a peachy pink, but I think it's so, so pretty. And just that perfect tone for those of us who are very, very fair skinned. I think this one is really, really pretty. And finally, I had to mention from Charlotte Tilbury, the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in the shade Peach Pop. So I have been loving this one. I love the formula of these. This is, of course, a liquid blush and it just comes in her typical applicator. I find 1.5 dots is more than enough for me. Any more than that, it tends to be a little bit too much. But I love these. They're so easy to blend out. They're so easy to work with. Again, very long wearing. This is the one I have on right now. I love this formula. And even though this describes itself as a matte formula, it really just mimics the finish of the foundation. So right now I have on the L'Oreal True Match foundation, and this is more of a natural finish. It's not overly matte. It's not overly dewy. I do think it leans a little bit toward the dewier side, but as a result, I find the blush just looks very skin-like. So I love this one. If I went with a matte blush, it would look more matte. Glowy blush, it's gonna look more glowy. Not nearly as glowy as her original blush wand formula, but overall, I think this is a phenomenal formula. These are one of my favorites in her Beauty Light Wand selection. I do really, really love these. And that is it. Those are the best peachy blushes for the summer. Let me know down below your favorite shades. Are you loving the whole peachy blush trend right now? Are you not? Let me know down below. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!